A bright smile, trademark glasses, and high heels. That's the picture friends and family paint of Ramona Paul. She was a champion of children, the mother of the nation's finest early childhood education program, and she was a cowgirl from the very beginning. Paul was raised on the Oklahoma State University campus, literally. Both her parents were professors, her mother in the school's Child Development Center. Even in nursery school at OSU, Paul would walk the campus exploring. OSU was her home, and it's where she eventually earned 2 degrees, both in child development.
Ramona was an outstanding student and was just a natural leader, but she always low-keyed her own importance or profile, even in the later years. I think it was just a natural evolution for her to get into early childhood development. Her own experience, living it and benefiting from it, and probably having some ideas and attitudes along the way of perhaps what was real important to her.
Early in her career, Paul traveled a great deal, working at several universities, including Purdue, where she earned her Ph.D. She became the mother of 3, including twin boys, and children were the focus of her research.
She cared about primarily the kids, but about people, and she could see the potential in people and the good side of them, and would help bring that out. Very committed.
When Paul returned to Oklahoma, she worked for both the Edmond and Oklahoma City public school systems, along with the State Department of Education. That was where she met longtime friend and future colleague, Sandy Garrett.
She just became a mentor for me because I had not thought about running for state superintendent at that point. And it was just one of those special relationships that really don't happen very often that we made.
Garrett was elected state superintendent in 1990 and brought on her mentor, Ramona Paul, as assistant state superintendent. Together, their knowledge was the ingredient needed to fulfill a dream, an early childhood program to jumpstart the education of Oklahoma children.
Ramona and I decided this would be one of the main things that we wanted to happen. And we were a great team. And she had the research knowledge and I had the practical knowledge, and we put that together. And Ramona insisted, rightly so, that we have criteria on every early childhood program.
Call it the Ramona Paul Standard, determined and thorough. This researcher turned educator turned lobbyist convinced the Oklahoma legislature to fund their new program.
She could read a bill and understand it and look and anticipate unintended consequences just about as well as anybody I've ever seen. And I think the legislators appreciated her presence when she would come over there, because she knew what she was talking about. They'd get good answers.
She had a tenacious attitude and persistent attitude to get it done. And as I said, she's a workaholic. She just was constantly bearing down on getting the right thing to happen.
Paul's new voluntary program soon boasted an enrollment of 80% of eligible children, and the nation took notice.
Then all of a sudden, we found that on the radar of many of the national rating companies, we were at the top. And it was because Ramona insisted on putting these criteria for a quality early childhood program.
Through a record 5 terms, Garrett and Paul transformed education in Oklahoma. It was the culmination of Paul's career, an undeniable impact on the children of our state. With a combined 7 children and 14 grandchildren, there was rarely a quiet moment at the Paul household.
The grandchildren are fun to watch. Ramona was terrific with them. She was just good with kids. She understood how they thought, and they get a little mischievous or get in trouble. She was great at misdirection, you know, and doing her thing, and she had great patience and great skill in that regard.
Along with her family, Paul was passionate about many different civic organizations. She was named Oklahoman of the Year in 2009, but always remained the humble product of Stillwater.
Ramona's feelings toward the university are very strong. She's really a product of the university community, and her devotion and dedication to the university was never wavered.
You know, OSU was, you know, her brand, and I believe that there's no higher professional honor. Plus, Ramona fits that. She was a professional. She was the ultimate professional.
If I were to try to describe Ramona in one word, it would be perfection. Not that it was a storybook kind of perfection. It was a constant work in progress. That's kind of a tough word to throw out there as a standard, but that jumps out at me as the word, because she touched all the right bases and kept touching them. And she didn't hit a home run every time, but she was there. She was a great partner, and we were a good team.
Ramona was optimistic, and I think that would be my one word, optimistic. She always thought, it's going to happen. We're going to make this happen.
Block by block, Ramona Paul made it happen, and the impact of her life will continue to be felt in Oklahoma for many years to come. And perhaps the best way to see her impact is to look into the eyes of a child. Ramona Ware Emmons Paul, 2015 Oklahoma State University Hall of Fame.